Okay, so I will tell Jim that here.
So we have someone attending tonight?
So I think Jim was trying to log on, but
Laura.
I hadn't started it yet, so.
So sidebar, I mean, not sidebar, but feel free, is there?
Okay, we're gonna call the February Civil Service Commission meeting to order. And the first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes dated September 13th, 2023. Do we have a motion to approve those? Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed? Okay,
One abstained. I wasn't here on the commission then, so.
okay. Motion carries and the minutes are accepted. Moving on to public comment. Don't believe,
No.
no. And so no old business right now, so we'll move on to new business, which is the first two items are certification of police list. The first one is a entry-level officer eligibility list.
And here is that list. I just put Kyle Williams on there. His oral board was on December 19th. And he received a score, passing score on there.
I met with him on the 3rd of January, did a chief's interview and passed that.
So he's a plus candidate?
Well, he actually asked to come out on a ride along and he happened to ride along on January 26th. And ended up in the pursuit of the car into Mercer Island with the bank robbery. So he really wants to work for us.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
That was his first boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we do currently have one, we only have one position open right now. So,
We had a retirement. We had met the self-imposed December 31st. Timeline that I put on myself to be 100% staffed. And then for
We had
19
19
days,
days.
in December, it was great. And then January 2nd, Kim Stonebreaker retired,
Oh.
so almost 26 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, January 2nd, she stepped away. Yeah. Totally.
That's March 26 years. I feel really.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay,
there you go.
So Dave took her spot as the school resource.
Yes.
Motion to approve the list.
okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
And any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Okay, motion carries for the certifying the eligibility list of the entry-level police officer. The next one is a sergeant promotion eligibility list.
Mhm.
I can talk about that.
Yep.
So, since, it's been a while since we've actually run a sergeant's promotional exam. We haven't had a need for one, or all of our sergeants have been staffed for the last few years. We're going to have an opening though, and not by attrition. It's by filling an admin sergeant role that has been left unfilled for over a year now. So that was a new position that we got on the books on the beginning of 2023. And because we were so far down on bodies, I could never move one of my existing sergeants off the road into that spot. So all of 2023, it just sat open. The need is so great for somebody to be in that position that we decided that in March, I will have enough bodies finally to be on the road and take one of my existing sergeants and move them to the admin sergeant role, which is gonna leave one of the squads open that will need a sergeant. So we worked with Janelle, I can't remember how to say her last name, her company.
Sure, EQ is the name of the
Yeah,
company.
and they were awesome. They worked with us from probably,
Couple months at least.
it was the beginning of October,
Mhm.
and putting together an all-day event that we held on the 29th, 19th of January. The 19th of January, and we held the testing at Church on the Ridge, so we used their rooms upstairs. And there were 6 candidates that put in for the promotional testing. They were put through 3 different testing locations in the building. One, they had to do a public speaking event, and they had gotten the topic about a month prior, so they had been working for a month leading up to the 19th to actually hone in what they were going to say.
Presentation.
Yeah, so they had a 20-minute presentation, and then from there they would go, we had an actor that was pretty pissed off and wanted to, make complaints and how they would deal with a citizen that was upset at service and then the last one was a tabletop, like a tactical exercise. And as it went, it got harder and harder. Things were happening. A call would come out here, a call would come out there, and they would have to move resources around the 2 cities all in their mind and on the tabletop. So those were the 3 things that they had to get put through. And that took
All day.
all day to run 6 of them through there.
6 of them,
Yeah, so it was an all-day event.
Morning for 3 and then afternoon for 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while technically I don't have an opening, I do have an opening because as soon as I lateral move and assign one of my already existing sergeants to that admin sergeant spot, it's gonna open it up, and I'm anticipating in the early part of March being able to do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so this list plays what role?
This list will, I'll be able to take somebody off of there, one of these police officers, and promote them to sergeant, and then they will take over being a uniformed squad leader on the road. So it's not feasible to take a brand new officer, put them in sergeant stripes, and then move them to an admin sergeant spot. Because you get no leadership skills, you don't get the experience that's needed. So we made the admin sergeant spot where you had to have at least 2 years on the road as a sergeant before you could go into that office spot.
But they're all starting out equal from now, you can pick any of the 5.
Yeah,
You
there were,
decide.
and there were 5 on there.
Yeah,
so-
We have a rule, the rule of
Yeah,
5.
and what will happen next is I'm most likely in the next couple of weeks, I'll schedule chiefs interviews with them. And then I'll make my decision on who is going to be promoted.
Does that come back to us again?
I don't know, I don't think so.
Okay.
It goes through us once.
Yeah, I think that's this and then
It's just to certify it,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this list is good for a year, so if there is another sergeant position that does happen to open up within the next year, then this list can still be used.
Which there's a
Which
possibility
would
that
move
will
up.
happen.
But yeah,
So
and
one
the
of our
6th
sergeants-
person would move up.
One of our sergeants now is contemplating a retirement in the summertime,
Okay.
so that might end up having another spot open.
Movement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's moving.
Yeah.
It's okay, as long as of course, wind up with the right people.
Yeah.
And it's full. Whatever you wanna call it, full.
Yeah, and you can
That'll be
see
the first,
from the-
years really.
from the scores, there are a couple of them that were really close. And they were extremely high scores for how hard of a test that is.
What's the most junior person on that list, time and grade?
That would probably be, I think it's probably Officer Gutwein or Officer K, and they have 6 or 7 years on.
Okay, so that's the minimum.
Yeah, that's the minimum.
Okay.
Experience wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With.
Yeah. The number 4 guy, Dave Doucette, has 39 years of law
Yeah.
enforcement, so,
I know.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah, he was an officer when Chris was a corporal, so. Yeah, he's been around for it.
No, you wanna see this, right?
That's okay. I tell him that all the time.
Love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's a vast array of experience. There's a vast array of people that took the test prior 3 years ago, failed it, didn't get picked, and have from that day on, there's a couple of them that have gone out and made themselves better and went to leadership classes and they're all, with the exception of Dave, they're all OICs, which are officer in charge. So every squad has a sergeant and then below them, there's an OIC. So when that sergeant is sick, takes vacation, they become the supervisor for the shift. So they've all been getting some form of experience doing that. Yeah. Yeah.
Very good.
Perfect. We have a motion to approve eligibility list, so second,
Second.
okay, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion carries for the certification of the promotion eligibility list. Thank you. Okay, one additional item that was not on here, given that this is our first meeting of the year, is elections for chair and vice chair. Is that correct? Yeah,
Hey, Chris,
yes,
can I say something right before we get to that?
for sure.
For those of you who aren't aware, this is my, I think, 4th year on the committee, and unfortunately, I will not be able to continue after the expiration of my term in March. I have some family situations that require me to be out of state for large amounts of time. So it really wouldn't be right to continue remotely as often as I will have to for the next couple of years. So I hope to reapply when I'm back in Snoqualmie full time, but that's my current situation right now. So I just wanted to say that before we got around to electing anybody, because while I've served my time, I wouldn't want anybody to think I would be here to do it again.
Thank you for letting
Yeah,
us know. Yep.
Appreciate that, hope everything goes well, and we definitely appreciate all your time
Yes.
on civil service, for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Look forward to whenever the time's right, coming back too.
Yep, couple years, I think.
Okay, cool. So with that being said, I just throw this out there before I make a nomination. One of the ideas, at least that I spoke about, that seemed like a good idea at the time, I still think it's a good idea, was to move the vice chair up to chair, and then put somebody new in the vice chair, or somebody different in the vice chair, just kind of roll them up so everybody gets a little shot at it, and then, but there's some experience there moving into the chair's position, so with that being said, for the chair's position, I'd like to nominate Graham, because he's the vice chair, get him to move up to chair.
We do this every year.
Mhm.
Oh, it is, okay. I
Yeah.
was gonna say, seems like you were just appointed, so.
It goes by
And that
fast.
goes by fast, I never can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't been with the gym yet today.
You're in a meeting.
I don't wanna appear shallow, but you get a sticker for the car. I mean, you can-
Stickers.
Just a sticker.
Yeah, $10 gift card.
Well, I'm honored, thank you. Oh, it's just a nomination, sorry.
I would like to think.
Play by hand.
Yeah, okay, I'm done.
You need a second for the nomination? That I don't know, I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You need a second,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll second it.
okay. Okay, so all those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, so Graham is now chair.
Yay,
you need to sign your life away, coming with a free pen.
yeah, and Charles Crown, no.
And you can see me here a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up is vice chair.
So I would be more than happy to do it, if you would like to do it, step in. You've got a whole year before your chair, but otherwise I'd be more than happy to do it.
I would nominate Fussy to be.
I would second that. Okay, so all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay,
Excellent.
Thank you.
Fuzzy is vice chair.
Here we go again.
Here we go.
It's all good.
Speaking of
It is.
when Christ was a corporal. How long you been up here on this one?
I don't even, I
don't remember it.
We've been doing this off and on, or things similar to it for a while,
Yeah.
because I was around when Kim got hired. I was around when there was one female on the department, and she was a reserve. That's when there was no pavement on Snoqualmie Parkway.
Colleen Johnson.
And so her job was to take the old squad car, and someday when we have more time, I'll tell you about the old squad car, the one. And she'd sit up there to watch the building supplies because stuff was getting ripped off up there so fast that the contractors almost couldn't keep the material there to build their houses. Everything else. So she just drive up and down the dirt park, trying to keep all the bad guys in some other part of town. So anyway.
Wow.
We've changed a lot since then.
Yeah, but really have we?
It's still Chief, they're still doing some, I've got a broken compressor in the back of my truck that's pickup that's been here 3 days. I'm really hoping somebody. Trust me, if they do, I will not call them. Just a dog.
I know, it's like weeding. It's quiet on our street these days. We make sure of it.
It's good.
Alright.
Well, that's all we have. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, meeting adjourned. Next meeting is scheduled for March sixth.
Well said, scheduled for.
I will let you know.
Thank you, James.
Thank you,
James.
Thanks to our prayers.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.